Welcome everybody to the World of Ability Podcast Network. My name is Emily Gomer and a podcast engineer here. We're excited to bring you another episode of Let's Be Trees with Sherry Wellis about the funeral reform industry and natural burial at Zone, which there is a what's the word? Membership thing here. But anyway, I'm going to bring Sherry or Sherry Bez over to Kurt. I'm bring Kurt to stay thing here. Hi, Kurt.
Hi, Emily.
So, what do you have to said to have another episode of Let's Be Trees? So, what do we have to have anything you want to say about Let's Be Trees today?
Today, yes, I think
Or
every
anything
day.
else?
Anything else on what, Emily?
Anything on Let's Be Trees?
Oh my gosh, Emily, we do this ongoing on a weekly basis because there is just so much to it, so much opportunity, and so much to be said about revolutionizing the funeral industry and creating a cemetery community and turning funerals from for-profit to nonprofit and helping the circumstances of affordability and planning and making this something that, yes, we can make it a celebration of life because the process is a lot more workable, doable, and economical for families and their loved ones. So, Emily, I want to come back to you. Why are you doing this show, Emily? What does Let's Be Trees and this show mean to you? Podcast engineer, virtual assistant, scheduler. What do you got, Emily?
Well, I mean, I just think it's an important topic and the whole the kind of the all natural uh part of it and so on.
And
Uh
so, Emily, do you have your final resting place all planned out?
Not yet.
So, are you thinking about going through Let's Be Trees for your eternal resting place?
Uh Possibly. I
Awesome.
haven't fully officially decided yet, but
Well, there you go. That's what this show is all about, isn't it? Helping people out there far and wide that might be viewing and listening to this show and seeing this video or other videos of Let's Be Trees or any of the work of letsbetrees.org and everything we're doing to get a huge digital landscape for this vast landscape of Emily. I believe we've been hearing about 300 acres of a property. Is that right? Huh? I can't hear you.
yeah, and also gain like 50,000 people and so on.
I
Yeah.
want to jump in and save Emily so bad from you, Kurt. I'm here, Emily. I'll take him on. Don't you worry. I, I'm here to save you. Thank you, Emily. I mean it. Thank you every week for helping me start this podcast. I don't know where I'd be without you pushing the buttons and introducing Kurt so he can banter back and forth with you. But I'm very grateful for both of you. And it's a hard subject, Kurt. You know that. It's a difficult subject, even if you've got all your ducks in a row and you know what you're going to do and $20,000 set aside for the process to even have people talk about. And I get it. I didn't know that it was going to be this difficult. Uh, I thought people would run and jump in my arms for attempting to make funerals affordable. And the fact of the matter is that it's almost like Stockholm syndrome. These people are, I don't think they can believe any of it's real yet, that you could actually have an affordable funeral. And so that's what I'm here to dispel any myths. And I think that there's a lot to be said for being able to bring people something like a funeral that's actually could actually be rendered free. People can't even understand that concept. But once you become a member of a cemetery society, absolutely everything other than the whole is an option. And we talked about that last week and the week before that, and I'll reiterate it again. If you want flowers at your funeral, that's an option. And if you want a fancy casket, that's an option. If you want, you know, a new pair of shoes, it's, you know, all of it is optional. So when I say make funerals free again, I want everyone to understand that they really could be free if you bought your membership when you were, you know, 21 years old and died when you were 78 or wherever that figure is. We can be buried with little to zero money. And my intent is to show people how I envision that happening. And if it's okay, I'll go ahead and bring in, or I'll share my screen and share screen. Am I ready, Emily? Share screen, share membership. So we have been working on this. See if I can get this bigger. Can you see that okay? Is that big enough, y'all?
You can see it. We can read it just fine, Sherry.
Super. So our membership is simple and open to everyone, but you must be a member prior to the time of your passing to be buried at the cemetery. The number of memberships available is limited by the number of acres that we're going to have. But the property in Macon, it's 300 acres, and we're assuming approximately 300,000 members, just depending on how many people end up being cremated. The membership benefits, you're a lifetime member. So a one-time fee of $100 secures your membership for life. There's also what we consider a serious benefit, and that's flexibility. So as our society grows nationally, you'll have the option to change your preferred state. Additionally, if you pass away in another state, other than your chosen state, your family may use any of our open societies across the country. And the communities are going to be 100% owned by the members collectively as a society. And I want everyone to know that this is not an investment. This is a cemetery society, and it's not owned by any one person. No one's benefiting from it. And that's the way it should be. And unless we do this as a society, there are going to be corporations that pick this up and do it for profit. And I know because they're already on my heels. So I get phone calls often, people just kind of trying to get information. But the fact of the matter is that this is the way that it was intended to be, as far as I'm concerned. This is the way that our grandparents intended. So the membership process, it's easy, really. You put your name on a list for your state that you would like to be buried in. Once 50,000 people in your state pledge to join, if we can identify and proceed with suitable property, we'll close together. You can meet us at the courthouse, or you can send your membership in, $100 membership in, the day we close or before. That's completely up to you, but I don't want anyone to think that they have to send money in now, because really you don't. Just put your name on your state list. Once there's 50,000 people, will look for land, appropriate land. And then once we identify that, then we can go to closing with our 50,000 people. That'll give us $5 million. So you can cancel. Oh, I think I did not go all the way through this. No upfront payment. We did talk about that. No money is required until we finalize the establishment of the society in your state and the land is purchased. However, you may wish to secure your membership early. And then a cancellation. You may cancel at any time. We don't want anybody in our society that doesn't want to be here. So 100% cancellation, absolutely no questions asked. If you're not happy with the process, with the project, with whatever, as long as you haven't used it, you can get your money back, right? So members' responsibilities. You're going to have to complete your will and last wishes. They're free on the website, or at least the documents to complete, so that will be put together. You're going to have to plan your own transportation to the cemetery, and who's going to dig your grave for you. So just don't. It's not a given that the society is going to be digging everyone's grave. In fact, we're not. This is meant to bring families together, family-led funeral. So that means making contact with your cousins and your friends and your neighbors, whoever. And it may mean that you're contacting other society members and saying, "Hey, Aunt Josie's, not doing well, and we're going to need help digging or whatever." But you'll have hopefully 300,000 people that you're in this society with, and we'll have an ample number of volunteers. And that's really my that's my goal. My hope for the community is that we've got a real society that cares about each other, and plenty of support in that way. What are you thinking so far, Kurt? You good?
Yep, I am good, and boy, you got my dog all excited about what's going on. My dog is barking away here, but so Sherry, maybe we can bridge from here, and maybe we can use this as an opportunity to share a little bit about, some more in your experience. You said it's tougher than you thought, and all this stuff is organizing, and from where you are now until we have the 50,000 people signed on, there's a lot that you're juggling with this right now, right? So can you describe that a little bit? Give us some insight. What is the day in the life of Sherry Wallace, pioneer and marketplace disruptor and revolutionizing the funeral industry? What is the business of this like? Share with us.
I am daily faced with learning opportunities and growing opportunities, and just putting this together and trying to find people who would represent their state, lead their state, when people already are so busy in their regular lives. So I really need to try to find the type of people who have time, who have a heart for this project, who would sit on a board of directors and make sure that nothing out of the way is happening in that society. I'm not going to be able to police every aspect of it. I'm going to need honest, ethical, knowledgeable board members, ambassadors, and members to get involved in every state. And I can't stress that enough. I can't do this alone. I have a lot of people pat my back and tell me how brave and needed and how they wish me well, but no, I shouldn't say no one. It's just that we're going to need a lot more people, hundreds of thousands of people in every state to make this happen. And once we have enough people, then then we'll just be getting started. The fun will just be beginning, you know. Finding the people, getting the word out to this is going to be key. So if you're hearing this, if you're here and you're hearing this, please share it. So we've got membership responsibilities. Our members are going to be responsible for arranging and paying for any optional or additional elements that they wish to include in their ceremony. The society, what we're going to be providing is the land and the location markings and a cemetery director. And that's, I hate to say that's it, but that's what the society is going to be responsible for. Finding the land, helping the community develop the 501c7, and then being a overseer of the project itself. So we need members, board members, and ambassadors in every community to join this mission that would actually benefit everyone. I'm just going through the rest of this membership application. We do have this part at the bottom that in addition to the membership fees, you'll have the option to donate further to support widows, orphans, or first responders. These additional donations will help ensure that those in need can benefit from a society services like this. And we'll hope that people will see the benefit in paying it forward. So it's a simple concept. And I don't think that it has to be real detailed or complicated. You remember when you die or you can't be buried there. That's kind of it. And you arrange for your final expenses in a organic way and spend as much money as, oh, goodness. Sorry about that. I meant to turn my phone ringer off. So that's what I got. It's a simple cemetery society meant to take the burden of costs off of families when we die.
All right, excellent. When I look at your form, I'm thinking it's missing a spot to have a person's name, kind of put in regular print handwriting. You take the signature, but sometimes people's names are not legible. Looks like maybe you could use the line to have the printed name of the person.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kurt.
Yep. You
Yeah.
bet.
So we're putting this together now and it's being reviewed and re-reviewed um and that's absolutely what we need to do. I'm gonna stop sharing here and come back to the real world.
Yeah, so obviously, you're in the process of taking all of this intention and commitment and having the organization ready to go and have all these plans for the 300 acres and putting all of the granular details together because people want to know what they're participating in and setting expectations. So building out the documentation, like you talk about volunteering, that's a whole process in terms of volunteer management and helping put in front of people kind of an understanding of what the scope of volunteering is with Let's Be Trees and being a part of the organization. So I think at this point, when you do stuff like this, they say there's 3 stages to make this a widespread offering and to be effective at moving forward with your 50,000 members and so forth. And they call it storming, forming, and performing. Have you ever heard that? Storming,
Yeah.
forming, performing. Well, there you go. Consultation, nonprofit consultation happening right here at the World of Ability Podcast Network. So we are adding value every day in every way. So the idea is right now, Sherry, you're in the first element of storming. You're out there storming. We're trying to, kind of disrupt the marketplace and attract people in. And in your storming phase, you're kind of getting these little nuggets that is necessary to enter into the forming stage. So that's where it gets really exciting for you, Sherry, is when you start seeing, kind of what we're speaking into reality and praying over and discerning, kind of the righteous way to do this. That it gets really neat to see how you get that team of volunteers and you kind of see if you're off attending, like we we're saying, there's many plates to spin when you're the pioneer, when you're the visionary, when you're the disruptor, and just look at all soup to nuts. The buck stops with you, Sherry, doesn't it? As they say,
Right.
when they say the buck stops here. So yeah, so that's kind of what I see is happening is we're kind of on the launching pad and we're kind of at the foundational aspects of this whole enterprise, which is a very exciting time to enter. And so the point with that is when people hear about this at this stage, it's a very exciting opportunity for an individual because Sherry, are there like 20 of us involved in some solid sense right now? So we're a long ways away from making this, an establishment and having an enterprise team that is really carrying out how we're characterizing it. So any individual who enters now has a great opportunity. Like in the working world, they call it job carving, that you can make kind of the duties fit your preferences. So we really are in this great phase that when you look at the expanse of it, you kind of say, hey, well, what would you like to do? And volunteer and offer that. And then the volunteer program kind of evolves from that. Once we start getting a lot of repetition and feeling we're kind of saturated in certain elements, then we'll start to put a shift into other areas, won't we, Sherry? But right now it's carte blanche. It's kind of like beggars can't be choosers. It's like, hey, we need a lot of people. Come on in, everybody, and just let us know what you like to do. We'll coordinate that and let's do it. So this is a very exciting time to hop on this bandwagon. So I think really it just amounts to when you hear the mission, does the mission speak to you, and does it sound anything worthwhile to you to be a part of the future of such a thing, to revolutionize the funeral industry and to make this real difference for families? Think about this, that people are in the grieving process. And right now, that experience for just an onslaught of people is just very unpleasant. You know, families bickering and, you know, arguments over the whole thing, and just not really how you thought it was going to work out. But you got to press through, and a family has to figure out a way, and they just kind of, you know, they kind of compromise, don't they? They compromise, they just kind of pick their battles, and they kind of figure out how much they want to push their viewpoint. But with Let's Be Trees, we can kind of attract families and, you know, individuals to kind of think ahead a little bit and kind of have a real nice story, you know, ready to be laid out. Again, to really think of the idea that many accomplish in a celebration of life. You can really focus on that, because the funeral experience has been, as you said, you're looking to, in the end of this, make it a simple thing for people to participate in and benefit from. So Emily, with that, I'm going to turn it over to you. Emily, we're kind of in the conclusion segment of this live stream. Take it away, Emily. Thank you.
But just wanted to let everybody know we're here every Friday at the same time, 3 o'clock Central, 4 Eastern. And if you're interested in being a guest at someone, to let us know. Otherwise, to check out our social media, YouTube, LinkedIn, and so on, and to thank Marcus Hart of Transfer Me Media, Zach Clayton of the Pack Channel, Lawrence Wingate Studios, Jay Story of the Disability Channel, for their support of the network and our shows, replaying them and so on. So I guess until next week, to everybody, have a safe and productive